Of all the principles that we're going to discuss, timing is probably the most subjective, meaning it's the most sort of unique to each individual, what they respond to, what timing they think is funny or don't or not think is funny. When you compare it to stuff like we talked about, contrast or composition, staging, a lot of those things are more sort of just mechanics that people have developed and defined over time, where you can cherry pick and see what has sort of been successful. Again, timing isn't as definitive as that. In the same way we talked about contrast in week number 1, timing can also be dictated by contrast, meaning if you think about an action or a line, if you just imagine in your head what's the normal way to say it, the normal phrasing, the normal rhythm, the normal speed, well, how do I change that rhythm? How do I change that speed? Is there something that you would expect to happen really fast that you draw it and you make it go very slow? Is there something that you would expect to take a long time that you draw it and it goes very fast? So you're playing with the contrast of the timing. And that also comes back to sort of pattern recognition. We are pattern recognition creatures. And so in the same way that we talked about, rule of threes, right? You have 1, 2, and then the third one's the joke. You can create patterns that way with timing as well, which is if you think of the metronome and you've got a boom, boom, boom. Now you've broken the pattern and you can kind of accent a joke, a moment, a line with understanding that timing. Or of course you could speed it up, right? Boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, oh, that's funny because you're breaking the pattern that has been established.